OKFM 101.7.
Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, MP for Northton, former Deputy Minister for Education. Na yenino eba betwitwe enkomo. Honorable, good morning.
Morning, Minia. Bibiaboko.
Bako de.
Yamiadomo.
Na yesemu court na over E-Levy. Edie be na wo pa modi akopie court na court be no.
Yo, medase. Maminchia chief wonyana. Metume I confirm it, Andra, your lawyers, the lawyers of the NDC caucus in Parliament, on more file rate and now on more commence actions at the Supreme Court of Ghana, the apex court of the land, more seeking an enforcement of the Supreme Court mandate in terms of the constitutional provision of Article 1041. Article 1041, it relates to quorum for decision making in Parliament. And Article 1041 of the 1992 Constitution. Provision very clear, sir. Or more better decision in Parliament. The quorum numbers now we here to take a decision. It has to be half of members present and voting. And that half 138. The half of 275. The Supreme Court has held in the Justice Abdullah case, we hear MPs 138 to take a valid decision. Supreme Court or more clarify very distinctively, sir, quorum now we here for debate, a debating quorum I know you're 1/3. I know your lower threshold, that is under Article 102. But a quorum for decision making, sir, Parliament decide on a matter, and no, we hear a higher number, that is 138. And the Justice Abdullah case, Supreme Court decided just a few weeks ago, on the 9th of March, Supreme Court said NDC MPs are 137 of us on the 26th of November 2021. You rejected the 2022 budget. We didn't have the numbers. We were not 138. And the rejection null and void. And Supreme Court na Yamra Efwaso and I bet to media ejuma. And it was set aside. And the Supreme Court declare yes Yeni Anoma Omo Asia on the 29th of March this week, just about 2 days ago, Omo approved E-Levy. They were not even up to 137. Now, Omo at most 136, because he named the Honorable Adjo Asafo, Odigana, Wamba Parliament Hall, the Honorable Kojo Kum, the chamber, Wamba Parliament.
But that
decision making chamber. Now, not or
Honorable.
not or ambulance more, but
Honorable.
one number parliament. I mean,
Honorable.
The chamber, the decision making chamber.
Honorable.
Yeah.
One year on manya for say Mensa Bonsu. Train komo ha. Emo can say he was present. And na me bisan ambulance once and was in ni ambulance bia. Emu. And na mami musa we so. And I wanted to say,
Yo, even if the Honorable Kojokum was present, it still does not give them 138. They will become 137.
Okay.
Maximum, because Honorable Ajasafo Amba Parliament. And the NDC MPs, ACI, take decision. Now Supreme Court, I say that decision does not hold. It cannot hold because we are not 138. There is no way that another 137 will take a decision and that decision will stand. It's not possible. Illogical, inconsistent. Now, in any case, no, even the 137, and that, I'll encourage more colleagues, more reporters to follow the proceedings of the House, because votes and proceedings. Ubekaya speaker, announce and draft, identify mistakes in the votes and proceedings. Votes and proceedings are
related to the passing of the E-Levy.
That the votes and proceedings of 29th March, which is like the minutes of the 29th March meeting, which was the day the E-Levy was purportedly passed. You see, that ridiculous nullity, now a course, that unconstitutional charade, now a course, the content mistakes be brave. On listed about 8 NDC MPs, almost say we were absent. Those NDC MPs were absent. And the people like the Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa was there. I mean, she was in the chamber. The Honorable Superu, no, Tisala West, they marked him absent. And
now, Honorable Avokai.
And strangely, no, Kojokum one back chamber will be he has been much present. Clearly there are mistakes. Internal speaker can't say. And who said Andra was a ceremonial day. Normally, no, ceremonial days for message on the state of the nation, no. Corrections of the voting proceedings because you don't want any matters to distract. Who focus on the message that will be delivered by the president. And the corrections, which is always allowed by our standing orders. Answer adopted the vote and proceedings, just as it happens at any board meeting, any reputable organization. Who present you minutes now the report, but it has to be perused. It has to be adopted, as the true records say reflected truly what transpired. Those corrections. Expect that the Honorable Kojokum will be taken out because one back chamber.
Not me, Baba Joe.
Or mobile who have been much absent. What is clear, and it's the MPP did not have 138. That is the minimum threshold. That is a quotient number. 138. You don't have it. You don't have it. And you didn't have that number in the chamber on the 29th of March. You cannot claim more passy E-Levy. It's a joke.
Mami Musa de Baku. Me say amanfo bi so submissions bi say number no say so no. Say obi draw speaker no attention. Obi and draw speaker no attention there. That person no want me nko upon passage of any bill or whatever no say was akoye argument. Wo bra sabre no na bia wo inform quorum anaso wo form no ya ntwe speaker adwen nyina so etesɛn.
Yo, good question. Very brilliant question. Matikra say ebi aka say anka as I say NDC MPs no anka one of us should have gone back in to go and draw the speaker's attention about quorum. Now, as I say, the fact that the speaker's attention was not drawn to the issue of a lack of quorum doesn't mean, sir, there was a quorum. Because Ubekaya, the 26th November meeting, yeka say ya rejected budget no. Obia and raise the issue of quorum. Obia and sorry and catch your speaker says, Speaker, we don't have a quorum, so don't put the question. And now yen dissolving meeting. That didn't happen. The proceedings continued, came to an end, and a speaker declares the budget, the 2022 budget has been rejected. Now, so no, the Supreme Court has held that decision no cannot hold. Munkai Justice Abdullah case no. So whether somebody raised it or not, no, it's not an issue. Based on the Justice Abdullah case. And Yen Kaisu said, we were very strategic in our action. Now Yenim said, if one person goes back to want to go and raise the matter of a quorum, and they bring Kojokum, the Honorable Kojokum, out of the ambulance into the chamber, that will give them the numbers. They will then attain the 138 decision making correct number. No, they will then achieve that number of 138. They will meet that minimum threshold of 138, and that's what I'm sure they were waiting for, and they thought we would do, which will have been defeated on our part. It will have been a suicidal mission, because I didn't know. It's all about the chess game, the numbers game. You are determined, sir, you won't let the Ghanaian people down. Share all the polls that have been done. The overwhelming majority of Ghanaians are opposed to this E-Levy. And they are the ones who sent us to parliament. Parliament or we are not representing ourselves. We are not there to, as it were, undermine the true will, the hopes and aspirations of the Ghanaian people. And we are clear in our minds, whatever strategy, the beer, and you see, sometimes people don't give us credit. Menkai, the last time in this Fourth Republic, an opposition has been so determined and has delayed a major government policy for 5 months. Since November, by way, I are determined to force down this E-Levy, down the throats of Ghanaians. Sure, the resistance are mounting. From November, December, January, February, March is coming to an end. And we continue to fight this war. And
now, on our way.
And your battle is a war. It's in this particular stage of the battle in this war. No, there cannot be the claim that E-Levy has been passed. It hasn't been passed.
More family E-Levy yempase.
Yempase, yes.
Okay, Mami Mlansa, sir, Moba chamber. Maybe I say minority for aba, majority for aba, ya kan mu nyina. Na bibi enti who decide say mo work out. Mo presence say ko attendance ni mu a register so atwere wudi assign nem ne ade ade a. Eno no is it deemed say waba ana wa ama?
Another brilliant question. Ubekaya, we took that view on the 26th of November. A Dana rejected budget. Yeka say, Yeni Anoma Omo the MPP side of the House, Omo Ba Parliament, Omo signed the attendance register, no, Omo signed here. And they were clearly in the House. Indeed, Omo demanded division at some point. And division is Monkan speaker count us. Let there be clarity about a decision that we have taken. The speaker would then instruct the clerk to do the counting. Enti Obekaya that day, 26th November, no, our colleagues were in the chamber. They took part in the first division. Answer now, Omo walk it out. Ubekaya, we made the argument, sir, oh, per the votes and proceedings, no, Omoaba, Betro Mudi, Oma signing, and they are in attendance. We have met the minimum threshold of 138. I exceeded that day, no, about 274. I'm saying, the Honorable Joseph Nkwana Wamba, and were 274 MPs. They say, no, the decision of the Supreme Court said that doesn't matter because, and the Supreme Court makes the point, what kind Article 1041 carefully the provision is that you should be present and voting. And at the time now, the Speaker puts the question. MPs must be present and voting. Ehun here say, oh, waba earlier, waba choding earlier. But if at the time of voting, we pay only chamber more boycott it, you walked out, you are not available, you cannot be counted because you are not present and voting. Into per that interpretation in the Justice Abdullah case, no, it cannot hold water. Say, oh, we took part in the debate, which is true. We took part in the debate. Many Ghanaians say we won the debate. Our debaters were phenomenal. The Honorable Atufos, the Honorable Adongo, the Honorable John Jinapo. And say, Honorable Atufos in Oha Majin Kakra, this business, you pass E-Levy, Abiana, are solving a bad head, no. I think on the lighter note, Honorable Atufos was very mischievous. But yes, and of course, we participated in the debate. But
that was the point, sir.
Honorable minority leader,
Honorable,
we are walking out. We are all not going to be part of this, and we walked out. Based on the Supreme Court interpretation of present and voting, linear, you cannot say that because we were there. Yes, signing register. No, we were present during the voting. We were not.
Oh, okay. Now, on a way, yes, a committee level, no, both the minority and majority were, dilating on the issue as to how much it should be pegged. And many the idea, did so enkoma. Now, idea mean pedie, senka committee level, crap pejaba, mean kabi.
Yo, another brilliant question. Pacho, may appeal say, Ube obtaining the report of the Finance Committee.
Okay.
Who obtained that report? And it's a public document. And says that Danokran, Ube Kaya, Yeka, say, adequate copies have not been brought into the chamber. And a lot of our colleagues wanted their copies. And a delay proceedings, no cry for a while. And Emma and the clerks had to make more copies for members. But you're okay, that committee's reporter, Ubehu said, all the NDC MPs, 12, was the Finance Committee, a 25-member committee, 13 on the MPP side, 12 on the NDC side. OSHA, the voting, it was 12-12, a tie. In the NDC MPs, Nina, to tear the E-Levy, say, or support it. All 12. And also, your standing orders, no. I think Article Standing Order 2115. Chairman of committees only an original vote. They only have a casting vote. And the chairman of the finance committee, the Honorable Kweku Kwatin, he then cast his vote after the tie, and the year 13-12. And that is how come the finance committee, was able to move to the next stage, as in presenting their report to the House. And for the record, and yes, NDC MPs echo for so and echo accept E-Levy of Debbie. They voted against it. They took part in the deliberations with the view, sir, to me, I rejected the E-Levy which had been referred to the finance committee, but unfortunately, we lost the vote by one. The chairman of the committee, or using a casting vote to, as it were, defeat the NDC MPs' resistance at the finance committee level. And that is what transpired.
Okay, now, Mami Musa, so Musa say, is it not an abdication of responsibility? Say, Sabrina Namu and Kamobet now you have the numbers. Nanka Mosuma voted no. You can there should be a division to that. Nanka who say oh more voting. But Mobet na plenary ho a year argument na kodu voting so na sorry. And Tikasanki boss no amompe na monko say monkrofo ni biasa mo kan say ade na em so mo kotenase and wo nyina dwendwen minim say what bia mo dwendwen hu wie na mo say okay de ya ba debate ntie ya mo ya na asore ko se na asore ko ye ko
menia mate sasam na ebi ka ebi krasi ebia ya kwa Jessica ABC mind games na and all of that I mean it borders on character assassination or more impugning your integrity. Minim why or MPP or befriend me and any of my colleagues.
Saudi 1 year will be bad you.
Say Yamba Jessica to subvert the will of the people. To go look, in my constituency, my town hall meeting on this 11th. Secret voting to have clarity on my mandate, what the North Town constituents want me to do on this 11th. It was 331 against the 11th. Nipa form and a support here 331 to 4. This was a non-partisan town hall meeting. And or invited parties, meaning everybody. 331 to 4. And if I come and betray my people, how do I return to them? How do I go back to them to seek their mandate? Now, OSHA, your conduct on this matter, Minia, since November last year, I am mounting such a resistance. I mean, when was the last time in the history of this Fourth Republic, who said a minority has stood up to a government so determined? If a government can even risk the life of their member, bring him to parliament in an ambulance, it should tell you the extent they will go. I mean, the kind of schemes, the kind of machinations to have this E-Levy approved in parliament. At all times. Look, do people know that Tuesday meeting, they took us by surprise? The business statement of Friday, which outlined the business for this week, not E-Levy and Kaho. On one country, say Tuesday there will be a vote on the E-Levy. They deliberately hid it from us so that they will take us by surprise. They will have more numbers.
Now, next speaker, Yahweh.
Minia, unem say.
Beba Jumbo. Say, Bibia any so, Munya when, what you got to floor some discuss it.
The speaker was only told that morning. The speaker didn't know. What's your speaker? Very clearly, okay, say, Both sides are surprising him. He doesn't like surprises. Oka said this the E-Levy matter no, a surprise to him for that day. And I yes to your workout no, a surprise. Into surprise business na Speaker Kaye. The speaker said it publicly. Unim said on that day, our MPs in the north, Tamale MPs no, Aban invite you say President Akufo-Addo or Kobie Tamale interchange into Omumbra. They should come and witness. Unim said they were formally invited. Honorable ADF Husseini, Honorable Suhini, Honorable Haruna Idriso. Say they be Tamale interchange. Can you imagine? And look at the distance from Tamale. Anka Omukoye, Anka Yampeki Intel over the weekend. Sunday say, hey, this is what our people want to do. Into invitations when you know Mamunko. Unim said some of our colleagues were abroad. Honorable Ahiafo was in a meeting in Europe. Honorable Ayariga, na our ECOWAS meeting, I was Sierra Leone. Obedru, Tuesday and Opa. Because Sunday na yenya Intel no say, hey, our colleagues are up to no good. They are going to spring a surprise on Tuesday. Honorable Dr. Stoffy.
No, Mundi Bibia, Mubeti, Honorable.
On Monday, in
Honorable.
Our Jomoro.
Honorable.
Yeah.
Sir, Bibi, sir, na minority aware. Are there no procedures to halt it?
Sir, minority is not in charge of government business. Interna Yawo, the majority leader and minister for parliamentary affairs. The majority is in charge of government business. Until they present the business to the house. Until that is the challenge we have.
But you must be aware. A day or
the only way you can be aware is the business statement. If it is contained in the business statement, which we approve on Fridays, say okay, yeah, but next week Tuesday, this is the business I have conducted. It was not there. Friday, you decide. Say E-Levy.
So how then do you accept to say Mokura Moba debate on? Because Friday you weren't aware.
Yes. Say almost strategy. They were hoping say because Omunim say Omuni 138. They don't have the full complement. And your constitution, so I say if you vote and the matter is a tie, the matter is lost. There were all kinds of schemes at play. Wouldn't say, apart from this surprise, even inviting Northern MPs or Munko Johnny President, Tamale, meanwhile, Rose Minister was in Parliament. Can you imagine? Rose Minister, no, our supervisor, the president.
Wafamuakwata wanu awobi ekwan ho Parliament.
Yeah, no, Parliament. Now, so you invite your colleagues, Tamale MP, say Munko Johnny President.
Na sa deal with the bia elections no.
The kind of politics I also. Wouldn't say Sadan also 29th no. Yes, Samone honorable question. Say Umbra the Umbra court.
And there's not record date no.
Enti na omunim say San no pano 29th no. Honorable question will not be available. Into Ubekaya, Tuesday 29th, by 9:30, na yeni anoma omo MPPs, they were all seated. I mean, a group, since this whole meeting began, Ubekaya, they be na ya journey because of lack of quorum. Omumba Parliament, they are not punctual. They be na we are more than them. The minority on paper is rather majority, always more than them. The more than the majority group. Now, so for Tuesday, dear, they were all, by 9:30, they were seated. You talk to your parliamentary correspondents. We started proceedings before 10 a.m. You can just tell clearly, sir, this was a tactic. They wanted to use this surprise maneuver to catch us unawares. Now, so in all of this, we were able to come up with the best strategy because with honorable question in court, That gave us 136. If we had voted, Honorable Kojokum would have been brought out of the ambulance. It will have been 137, 136.
Now, maybe I me bo.
Yeah.
Oh no. Ni yari ni more things nka. I'm going to stretch as well. Now I'm going to what is it?
Now you're the better wheelchair. You will have been wheeled.
Oh,
because yes, that is how the.
But in parliamentary practice, such a precedent, more witness be there.
Debbie, and see that. And I'm even wondering, was your forebear or Muma NPP for going to do that to the Honorable Kojokum?
Send a party, no.
Really? Or the party no change or no any well-being, no health.
Oh, there be said here, or that stretch and so or bar na ya pejanensa na mohunu na bibia ayeboko.
Inia, wouldn't say that even raises a constitutional matter. Wouldn't say to qualify to be a member of parliament, to come and make laws for Yenyana, to make decisions, major policy decisions. Constitution no say you should be of sound mind. Even to vote, 18 years of sound mind to vote in general elections. Are we even sure, sir? Our honorable colleague, no, the Kosunino, he's even aware he has the presence of mind. Are we sure? Let's be careful, Lord. Let's be careful. Some of the things going on. And look, if this is tried again, we want to serve notice, say, we will even demand a medical assessment to be sure, say, the person is really having the presence of mind.
Now, when no more will be ya custom in black and white, say this is what you should be in this state.
Constitution, you're clear. Say, to qualify to vote, to qualify to be an MP, you should be of sound mind. MP applies in the judiciary.
Oh, yare no yare keke.
As I say, we must know because they say a stroke. They say if a stroke, it means you can't really be conscious of what is happening.
Yeah, because I attack brain and son. Okay,
exactly. Look, people are watching us. The international community is watching us. Look, and the laws of our country are at stake. I think, sir, our colleagues are going too far and even attacking the dignity of my colleague just because of an E-Levy vote. Intiminia strategy now you implement here. People should give us credit because with honorable question out in court, that reduces our number to 136. They bring in the Honorable Kojokum out of the ambulance, they get 137. In China, they were so determined to move this thing so quickly and take us by surprise. And
I'm wondering, sir,
because look, either we do this and I say things will have degenerated again. And Tokwaba, now you can say, look, we don't want Honorable Kojokum to vote because we are not sure if he's in the right, mental frame to vote. Now, and look at this, a sick person, then there's violence, there's brawl. I mean, we don't want that. And anytime there's things have degenerated, and it's all because of our colleagues always trying to force their way to undermine the constitution as standing orders. And you hear the criticism, Parliament there, Adani, they say Adani wrestling ring, boxing ring, these days only macho cry to make Parliament. It affects us. They have fronted image. We didn't want that. Maybe some people expect we should continue fighting, but I think we are honorable members of the House. If there is another strategy, fortunately this time we have the Justice Abdullah case. The Supreme Court has settled these matters. Say, a bad decision making there should be minimum 138 for a quorum to be formed for decision making. We saw that clear, loophole that we could exploit in the national interest to protect the suffering masses. Ghana for do share reports in Andrew and a report on Ghana website. Kumasi Momo users are withdrawing their Momo cash, and all over the country, people are saying, look, there's no way, almost starting implementation where they are going back to paying cash for their transactions. Into all the efforts are here for financial inclusion. So this our 30% unbanked population will all get into the cashlight economy. All of those efforts have been derailed. Into Minia, this is such a major policy issue. It needs a lot of thinking, a lot of strategy, not to let the Ghanaian people down.
Release, sir.
Employ the strategy that we employed.
Release, sir, Musiki from the apex court of the land, no? Any day, me.
Yo, me that's it. Release, no? Unim said the Supreme Court, Omo limited jurisdiction, and one of those jurisdictions is to interpret and to enforce the Constitution, the laws of Ghana, into an enforcement mandate, into call for enforcement. Say, more interpret the Constitution in the Justice Abdullah case, more say Parliament. This is how we should conduct ourselves. A bad decision making, the quorum is 138. More enforce it. Set aside what has happened on this E-Levy vote. Set it aside and be consistent on the authority of the recent decision in the Justice Abdullah case. No, please, we invoke your original enforcement mandate. Do ensure that you set this aside. Declare that E-Levy vote, say you pass E-Levy, declare it now void and of no effect. Any idea, as I say, a standing, it must not be allowed to see the light of day. It is a constitutional nullity. It's an illegality. It's an aberration. It should not be allowed even 1 minute of existence because it's really of no effect. Those are the reliefs are seeking. Then we are back. We come back to the drawing board. There is no passage of E-Levy. Pass E-Levy. Make sure you get your 138 minimum decision making quorum. And those are the reliefs seeking. And so far as we are concerned, E-Levy and pass a luta continua. It's a war. The war against the E-Levy. It continues.
It's more than appetite.
Exactly. Now, answer na mekono so. Mete bibi and pa. Mete say na yenianum bi kase Ghana for Bekaya, walk it out. Once it was a time for honorable chairman to debate. Into one debate, and our car say the speaker should put the question quickly. Into they are arguing, say, na yenina MP and sana. The question was put. At least there were a few MPs and almost chain almost 10 to walk through the exit. A few NDC MPs, into they want to rely on that to say, then they met the 138 because there were some people who were at the door.
The honorable chairman Sabon to say, Empo, why is a walking out? No, why maybe a munipa be 4, 5. No, I'm about Emsom before BB. It once you are in the chamber.
It many okay rate na ya file. You can see that we have spelled out the various processes in that leads to the passage of a bill. Edikino, we disagree with that claim because the speakers of parliament have always held that when your leader announces that you are out of a decision, you are not part of it. You are out. You cannot be part of the counting. But let's even grant them, for the sake of argument, at the time that the question was put when we were working out. Women said that was a vote on the principle, not on the passage of the bill. After the principle, you see, the lawmaking process, a very detailed process. After that, you go into the consideration stage. Consideration stage, amendments. And you want your sister, you 1.75, you 1.5. You delete this word, insert that word. Those are all decisions of the House. That is why the Speaker puts questions for vote. All those decision-making points, we hear 138. We hear 138. Then the procedural motion, and then the third reading, which is the most important, third reading of the bill. It is after the third reading, now the Speaker makes a declaration, say the bill has been passed. Third reading. And they also say, third reading, Now they saw some people at the door now walking out, now exiting. Look, and you're clear, say they did not have 138 members in the House. No matter how you look at, no matter how you stretch it, no matter how you say, people were walking out with the tortoise pace and all of that. By the time you drew consideration stage, drew third reading of the bill, no NDC MP was in sight. You didn't have the 138. You were 136 at best. And we are clear in our minds that this is an open and shut case. It is watertight. There's no wiggle room. I don't see how the Supreme Court will reverse its own decision. And that's a position that the MPP held. When 137 purported to have rejected the budget, and they said we didn't have 138. How is it that suddenly, they've made a U-turn? I mean, mania is laughable.
But Supreme Court, they can depart from their own earlier decision. And you
depart with a reason. You better change what kind of reason, what kind of rationalization, what legal, justification will be adduced for such a departure. I doubt. I mean, look, the Supreme Court's reputation will be at stake, and I don't think that they will commit such reputational suicide.
Medas.
Yo, Mr. Medas.
Mr. Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, MP for Northtown, Minority Spokesperson on Foreign Affairs, former Deputy Minister for Education, and then okayfm 101.7.